Gala are continuing to push for decentralization. And this week we had a couple of announcements specifically around decentralization of the founders nodes, but also the introduction or soon to be released new node which focuses around social networks. Welcome back to Bearman Crypto, where we talk all things crypto. Over the last few days, you might have seen a couple of the announcements from the Gala team. One specifically in terms of how they're putting forward a proposal for the founders nodes, and really with this proposal, what they're trying to encourage is more decentralization, and we'll take a look at that in a bit more detail, as well as a new node sale that will be soon coming to Gala, and specifically, I guess you could call it another string to Gala's bow that they'll be introducing specifically around social networks. So, in terms of the first announcement around the founders nodes, so basically, they announced that they've put forward a proposal around changing the reward structure for Gala founders nodes, and really what they're trying to do here is basically reduce the points of failure, similar to what they did a few months back when they announced that they were burning 21 billion tokens. Again, this was because there was a specific wallet that was holding, I guess you'd call it, I think it was just a reserve that was sat there with 21 billion tokens, and people always said there's always that risk that Gala would dump these into the market at some point. So to give people a bit more comfort, they basically decided to burn all the tokens in that wallet. So specifically here, what they're looking to do is around some of the reward structure for founders nodes. So basically, what they're looking to do is modify the bonus structure, and you can see here specifically that with this new modified version of the proposal that they're putting forward, it wouldn't actually come into effect until the founders nodes have been converted into NFTs. So at the moment, you can't sell on your founders nodes. However, once they're actually converted to NFTs, this will enable people to sell them on. And specifically, what I want to show you is, so obviously at the moment it says that the total amount of nodes, as we know, is 50,000 founders nodes, each one running on a separate machine and operated by a unique individual. That's ideally what they would like to envision. But at the moment, these 50,000 nodes are not distributed, I guess, what you'd want in an optimal decentralized manner. And specifically, this proposal, that's exactly what it seeks to do. So I can just quickly show you here. So basically, what they're proposing to do, you can see it here, is the adoption of a logarithmic function in which the allocation of bonus points are dependent on the number of nodes you own. So you can see here, if you have one node, in terms of those bonus points you earn, it will be the equivalent of one bonus point. And if you own two nodes, it will be the equivalent of 1.71 bonus points, and so forth. You can see here the scale increases. And really, where they are trying to create that decentralization is when you start looking further down here. So if someone, as an example, if you look at the last 2 points here, if someone owns 1,000 nodes, I don't know who would be lucky enough to own 1,000 nodes, but just as an example, they would earn 17.1 bonus points, and someone who owns 7,000, so 7x the amount, would only earn two. What is that? They would only earn 4 additional points. So really, what they're trying to discourage is people having so many nodes. So this, again, this is why they said that this wouldn't come into effect until you've got the ability to turn those founders nodes into NFTs. So obviously, at some point, the likelihood is we could be flooded with a lot of founders nodes coming into the market when some of these people, I don't know how many people would own this many nodes as an example, because it's a hell of a lot of nodes. So when these people start to sell, because obviously if you own 50 nodes as an example, if you then sold I don't know, if you owned 100 and you sold them into, and you sold 50 of them, therefore you could then, the bonus points that you earn are negligible between owning 100 and owning 50. Therefore, you're better off selling and getting the potential income from the sale of those nodes. That's my thinking at the moment. Obviously, I am not an expert at this. This is just something I'm speculating will likely happen. And if you own 7,000 as an example, why not break those down into 50s as an example? That would multiply the amount of points that you have. I don't know how you do that, but exactly what they're trying to do, just to reduce the single point of failure is my understanding in terms of what they're looking to do here. And I believe the proposal has been put forward. I personally, for full disclosure, do not own a founders node, so this is just something I'm keeping an eye out on in case at any point some of these founders nodes start to flood the market. It could be a good opportunity. It could create a lot of sell pressure, and it might be a great opportunity to pick up some of those founders nodes on the cheap, because obviously the tokenomics for the founders nodes have continuously been changing, and I think I'll definitely see some benefit in holding some of those founders nodes. So that's one of the key announcements that they made this week, and one that people didn't talk about a lot. Another announcement was basically a Gala entering the social network sector. So basically, it's just adding another string to their bow. They're going to be adding this social network, which will run essentially on Gala chain, and the name of it is called Rep. And really, it will be coming to Gala chain in the not too distant future. And associated with this social network would be will be run by nodes essentially in the background. So that node sale will come online at some stage. I think there's going to be an announcement maybe tomorrow from Bitbender, I believe, who will basically tell us a bit more about how these nodes will potentially work. And I think before I started reading the article, I thought, well, Gala must be taking on, it just feels like Gala are taking on too much. We've got the gaming, we've got the film, we've got the music, and now I want to introduce social media to it. It just feels like a bit too much to take on. But then as I started reading the article a bit further, it appears that this social network is actually already built. So it's not really going to distract the Gala team from their mission to focus specifically on gaming, music, and film, and it's not going to stretch the team any further. It's literally going to be it's literally going to be a hands-off approach from the Gala team. Where you can see here, it will be run by a third-party team, and really the benefit for Gala is the fact that it will run on essentially the Gala chain. The actual platform itself is actually already built, apparently. It's already running on the near blockchain, and it's only a matter of time for it to essentially migrate to Gala chain. And you can see here in the next episode of Ahead of the Game with Bitbender, we'll learn more about the rep node licenses and how that sale will work. And like with anything else, with any nodes, there'll be associated rewards for running a rep node. So I'll be keeping my eye out depending on what that price point looks like. So this should be interesting for Gala. It's something that can help them integrate, I guess, all their platforms really around music, film, and essentially gaming. So, this could be a win-win situation for both Gala and obviously the rep team that have built this social media platform. So let's wait and see. Make sure to keep an eye out for ahead of the game with Bitbender tomorrow, Thursday, 13th of July. And let's see what they say about this node and how it all works. But that's all really I wanted to share with you in this video. A few things to keep an eye out for Gala. The potential to see what happens to those founders nodes, and obviously these new nodes for the social network coming online for sale at some point. This video has been a bit longer than I expected, but I think these are a few interesting things that you need to have on your radar if you're interested in the Gala ecosystem. But that's all I want to share with you. Hope you enjoy that content, and I'll see you in my next video.